Sunday, April the 20th, 2025, I posted anachronism number 4678. It's called The Rigors of Mortality. Rigor mortis. You hear rigor mortis in there anywhere? Seems like forever I've been anxious to rid myself of anxiety. I remember clearly realizing that it was the root of so many of my problems. I also can't forget the first time I was successfully able to eradicate. I also can't forget the first time I was successfully able to eradicate it so wholly for a duration of time with Xanax. It turns out that after somewhere near a decade of an extraordinary amount of stress, I've reached a sort of stasis. I'm more steadily relaxed, less worried, and I can't exactly account for why this is. But I imagine it has something to do with the fact that after living for that long, 10 years or so, feeling that no matter how or what I tried, no matter how much effort I expended, I could not manage to reach a singular goal. Should I say a life goal? I managed to eat. I managed to find a place to sleep. That place did not always include a roof, but it was a place where I slept. There were numerous places. The only routine that I managed to keep that I'd had before, besides things like breathing and sleeping, etc., I suppose, was that I wrote. I wrote during that duration, during the entirety of it. Some months more than others, but I always wrote. And as I read through what I wrote, as I've been doing, even recording each of the pieces, the poems, as I read through what I wrote, as I've been doing, even recording each of the pieces, the poems, how hard is that to say? I do it every day these days. I do. It seems like something, like an accomplishment, like one thing I can puff myself up a bit about. But up until the past couple of months, that had been about it. Now I've reached two big goals, things I've worked on for years. These are perhaps tiny relative to other durations in this life, a life for which I'm somehow still grateful. But it has only dawned on me just in the past couple of days how huge they are, these two things that I've done in the last couple of months. Anyway, so I write. But there's a bit of tension, some concern, not exactly stress, about what it is I should write now. But I suppose it doesn't matter, as I know I will nevertheless continue to write. It'll be something. It doesn't have to point me in any new directions, give me any bold ideas, but it's my through line and has been a tremendous help. Not just therapy, creativity, opening my eyes to see things. I'll then keep going. And I keep thinking daily can be dull. So when or if it's dull, I motivate, I move, trying to make the best of anything, improving, or just moving. A dull boom.